felt compelled to talk about my weird day yesterday because it was just so bizarre. It started out fine. I was with the primary classes. It was a lot of fun. But then, so I normally take the navette, which is the free bus, to get around town, get closer to where I live. However, because of construction, the stop actually is not there anymore, the one that I use. So the one that they have reposted somewhere else, it's not worth my time. You know, because of that, I decided to go all the way to the first stop, which is slightly closer to where I was, which is the train station. And when I got there, I was immediately spoken to by a random man. He asked me if he could use my phone, and normally I don't mind, but my antennas went up, you know, because when you're so unaware with how much your nose is leaking, and the way you deal with it is to do this with your sweater, and then it kind of just keeps going. Not too keen on letting you use my phone, and that might be mean, but you know, my antennas went up. So he told me, oh yeah, it's his 39th birthday and he's just here and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I realized I was really happy that I didn't lend him my phone, because he started to use his tongue as a way to deal with what was going on up here. And that is not okay. I would have much rather he asked for a tissue from me. I would have very happily given it to him, but he didn't. Instead, he kept using his tongue, kept doing this with his shirt so that I don't know what was going on. But, yeah, it was a great start to our conversation where he began speaking to me in only Japanese. And it took me a while, but when I finally realized what language he was speaking, I was like, sorry, I don't speak Japanese. He said, oh, okay, are you Chinese? I was like, yes, I'm Chinese. Like, can you write Chinese? I could write my name, almost. So then he asked me what I was doing in France, and I said, oh, I'm just an English language assistant. And when he heard that I was an English language assistant, he started to speak to me in English, and he started spouting off about how amazing America was, and how it's his favorite country, and how everything that happened there was amazing. And normally it'd be pretty cool. It's like, wow, you can speak so many languages. But there was just something so off. Something so off. He finally got to a point where he started talking about, oh, there was a woman there, and she really broke his heart. And then he started talking about how he used to believe in God when he was younger, but he didn't anymore. I don't know. And so when he finally finished all that, he asked me where I was from, and I said, I'm Canadian. He got flustered a little bit, but then he started talking about how he believed in God, and how God was the cosmos or bigger than the cosmos, and anything he could imagine. So I don't know if he thought that maybe I would understand his Canadian English, but I didn't understand his American English. It was a very strange way he was going on about it, because it almost sounded like he had learned English from rappers or something, the way he was saying his words and, swearing inappropriately here and there, and just a lilt that was strange with the way he was speaking, like he had some sort of beat in his mind. So all I could do, because I didn't know what he was really saying, I was just like, oh yeah, okay. I had no idea how to react to it. So finally he was like, okay, well, have a good day, bye. I'm like, okay, bye. But I saw him as the bus was finally pulling away. He waved to me, so I was like, okay, I'll wave back, that's fine. And then an older man on the bus, when he saw me wave, he's like, oh, did you lend him a cigarette or something? I was like, oh, no, he wanted to use my phone. And he said, oh, yeah, okay. And then this man started talking about cell phones, but the way he was talking about it was as if he was always trailing off. So he was like, the cell phones. I had no idea what he was saying. So after that, I was like, oh, okay. And then I just like took out my phone and just tried to block out the world. I figured I had enough stranger talk for that day. Enough stranger talk. I'm just going to block out the world. However, once I blocked out the world, I heard something that I was like, no, not having it. The older man's cell phone let out a very inappropriate woman's moan. And I didn't look up. I did not want to make eye contact. And for 5 minutes, it just kept intermittently, these inappropriate moans just kept coming out of his cell phone. And I could tell it was as if he thought if he kept exiting out and then coming back to whatever he was looking at, it would be gone and it wouldn't make noises anymore. But of course, that's not how cell phones work. That's not how computers work. So, after me and 2 seniors on the bus had the lovely opportunity of hearing some pornographic sounds, plus a man, tapping his cell phone in frustration and making like, oh man, like as if it was the cell phone's fault that this was happening. He finally got off on the nearest stop, which I don't know if he actually had to get off there or he just needed to get off because, of some issues, some technical issues, but that happened. And so I finally get off my stop. I go to the supermarket and I'm walking through the can and jar items aisle. And I walk past a woman and she says, oh, I'm sorry. She felt like she was in the way. I said, oh, no, don't worry about it. She said, and then she's like, yeah, I'm just taking a long look. I was like, yeah, don't worry. I take a really long time too. And then, of course, she goes, oh, and I look at these things for so long and I want to buy them, but then I realize that it's so many preservatives and I can make it myself. And I was like, oh, yeah, I feel that way too. Okay. Which I do in most cases. And then, of course, I don't know why. I should have seen it coming. She started saying how she was losing weight, and the way she did that was by using a detox system, and it was a tea. And I was like, oh yeah, that's good. Good for you. I'm glad, if it's working and you're healthy, good. And then she started talking to me about how she sold the tea, and how it was a company based in America, and how she was part of a team, and how her and her husband were now starting their own team. And yeah, she was telling me all this. I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. Good for you. It's good to have your own team, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, yeah, it only cost me about $55 to start it up. And I was like, okay, that's good. All right. And so I kept trying to pull away, but she was just telling me about more of her business and how she's made all her money back no problem and how she's doing really well. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Finally, we got to end the conversation, and I said bye. And she said, hope to see you again soon. And I was like, yep, okay, bye. I just noped out of there. So, to say the least, it was a very interesting day, very bizarre day. I can't really say if it was good or bad. I mean, it's not like these people were mean to me or anything. But I think I'm going to have to start practicing what my friends have told me to start practicing, which is my bitch face.